Hi Taurus, and welcome to your monthly love predictions reading. So lovely to have you here, Taurus. We're going to be focusing on your love life from mid-September until mid-October. This reading is going to be very similar to what I've done in the past. The only change is we're going to be having a specific portion of this reading dedicated to how the person on your mind is feeling about you, their energy towards you in the month ahead. We're going to be separating that portion into two separate sort of groups for those who are dealing with an established person in their life or someone who they're already in a relationship with, and then for those who are dealing with a new person or someone who isn't established. So there is a lot to cover. If you're after more specific, or should I say if you're after more general predictions that aren't love specific, then I do my monthly predictions readings for each month up on my channel. So your September predictions is still live and the October ones will be up very, very soon. So I recommend that you subscribe if this resonates, join the family so you can stay informed of those upcoming prediction readings. Let's get into it, Taurus. What is happening in love for my Taurus bebes? What is happening in love for my Taurus bebes when the month ahead? Taurus. Oh, that's interesting. We got 3 cards straight up. At the back of the deck is Earth. So I do feel like you're going to be in your power because this Virgo energy seems to be pretty helpful for you, especially if you're a Taurus moon or if you are a Taurus Venus. I'm not saying that if you're a rising or a sun Taurus that it's going to be bad, but I just feel like for those who have those earthy placements, I do think that this is going to be a really helpful month ahead in love for you. That bottom deck energy is almost like you're grounding something. You're trying to create stability for yourself in the month ahead, and you may be putting in some sort of plan or action towards grounding your love life and making it more stable. Let's have a look at what your other themes are though. We have Venus, so there's a strong sense of Taurus showing up in this reading. We have waxing crescent, interesting. And we also have the 8th house. Interesting. Let's start with this Venus energy. Venus is one of your rulers, or I think it's your main ruler technically. It feels like it's here to kind of say that a main theme in your month ahead for love is very much about reestablishing your love life, whether that's with someone that's already in your life, kind of focusing more on bringing love back into that situation. But it also feels like you need to kind of show up more in your love life, like be more expressive, more kind of sensual, if that makes sense, like, or at least being more aware of what your love language is so that you can get more of that. Because I think that the reason why this card is reversed is because there's a need here that we need to fulfill and focus on when it comes to love in the month ahead. And in order to know what that need is, we first need to see what we're lacking in. And I almost feel like for some of you, you may even be feeling guilty about not being able to give enough love to someone in the month ahead. But it feels more like, okay, so my love language is physical touch, and I haven't been able to be very affectionate with, let's say, anyone, or if you have a significant partner, with my significant other. So I'm going to try to fulfill that need in the month ahead and come up with some sort of plan or some sort of action that I can take in the month ahead to ensure that I'm getting that need met. It feels like it has a lot to do with your love language and your needs and bringing those into your situation with whoever you're dealing with. Clarify this Venus energy for Taurus, please, Spirit. Clarify this Venus energy. We have the Knight of Cups upright. Clarify this Venus energy. We also have the World reversed. And we have the Ace of Cups. Wow. At the back of the deck is the Ace of Wands reversed. Yeah, I do feel like this has to do with doing something differently. I'm hearing cancelled plans, but this Ace of Wands reversed is a rebirth of a situation. So kind of, it didn't really work out the first time around, so let's try it again. And we're going to try things differently this time, because the last time it didn't really lead to success. In fact, for some of you, it created a lot of stress in your love life, or a lot of sadness and sorrow, and maybe even a breakup. So for those who are single, what I'm kind of picking up here is there's a new opportunity in love in the month ahead for you to kind of explore your more romantic side. It feels like this has to do with you also taking action, not just sort of sitting back and letting somebody else take action completely. I think that the opportunity arises after you show romantic intention and after you are very clear about your romantic interest in someone. And then things are able to come into fruition into a new opportunity. I do see with the World card reversed, this may have to do with kind of finishing something that has already started for you and kind of ensuring that it is followed through in the month ahead. So this could be a situation that has been developing in September already, and the month ahead is just about kind of making those intentions more regular, more consistent, and more kind of loving as the month progresses, especially if this is a brand new person with that Ace of Cups. For those who are dealing with a brand new person, I see feelings growing as the month progresses, but it's important that you remain consistent. Because I almost feel like some of y'all are dealing with someone who needs to see that you're in this for them as well before that you get the best parts of them, if that makes sense. You could be dealing with like a little bit of a wounded warrior who's feeling like, oh, I have a lot to give, but I need to feel secure before I give. We'll see what your person's energy is at the end. But that's what I'm kind of picking up on, is that a lot of reassurance from your end. And it may be a little bit out of your comfort zone with Venus reversed because you're used to receiving. You're kind of like, I don't want to be the one that's only giving all the time. But that's the thing about this situation. It's not completely unbalanced. It's just that you are being asked to kind of do more than what you'd usually do, but you will be reciprocated. It will balance out in the connection. Now, for those who are in a stable relationship, I still believe that you are going to need to prioritize romance. And this isn't the kind of romance that ensures like some sort of, sexual deed at the end. It feels more like acts of service and kindness and just showing affection, like just kind of being more present for your partner. And it does feel like this is something that you are working on in the month ahead. You're trying to prioritize it. With the World card reversed, this is probably something that you've already discussed with them. And it's something that you are needing to be consistent with as the month progresses. I do think that for all of you, you are going to struggle with this. With the World card reversed, it just makes me think that this is a bit of a karmic lesson for you, or it's a lesson in being able in how your consistent actions will lead to long-term successful outcomes. And for some reason, either you're distracted by other things, or it's just a busy month in which there's a lot going on, but you do seem to be struggling to kind of be consistent with your romantic affection towards whoever it is that you are interested in. But I am seeing that that consistent action and you not kind of losing faith in the overall goal will lead to a new opportunity in love. And it feels like a rebirth. It feels like it almost didn't really work the first time around, or we had to be really patient with the cycle as it developed naturally. And we had to be consistent with our actions in order to reap the reward. So what is any other closing advice for Taurus with this theme? What other advice do you have with this theme? We have Creator. So it does feel like this is something that you want. You're doing this for someone who you really want a future with and who you feel a strong connection to. So your advice is what goes around comes around. You are the creator in this situation. And if you want to create a stable long-term connection with this person, this is the path to that outcome. Your actions are what is going to bring this into fruition, and your actions of love is what is going to bring that long-term love into the situation. So that's a very specific and clear theme. Let's move forward. We have waxing crescent next. Waxing is this energy of building, something kind of building. And I kind of feel like with the crescent here, there is a new beginning on the horizon for you, in like a grand beginning. We obviously have a new opportunity over there, but I feel like some of you guys are kind of like preparing for some big cycle in love to start. And it makes me think that you're very, very close to getting what you want. You just have to maybe consider, make some minor adjustments, and then consider what to do in the meantime until you can kind of get what you want. Spirit, what is happening here with this waxing crescent? We have the Four of Cups reversed. Interesting. Not wanting to miss out on an opportunity. We also have the Tower. Waxing crescent. Interesting. I might read a little bit from the guidebook, because I feel like there's a message there either in the mantra or in the question. We have the Five of Wands reversed, and at the back of the deck is the Hierophant reversed. That's more Taurus energy, so you're really in this reading, Taurus. Let's just quickly have a look. It's in the other one. There's two guidebooks for this deck because it's big. Oops, we have gotten too far. We're looking for waxing crescent, please, Spirit. A waxing crescent. Oh, thank you. Okay. We have an eclipse. All right. Here we go. The waxing crescent moon follows the new moon, and in this phase, the first buds of our intention start to materialize. So the light position is that it reminds us that growth comes from the delicate first steps that are being taken. This phase of the lunar cycle is one of tender foundational work. But the question that I wanted to read for you is, when you initiate a plan, do you embody the waxing crescent mentality next, or do you leap ahead to something more activated? So there's a strong feeling here of like this message kind of passing over into this theme. It feels like a lot of what is happening for you in love has to do with your actions. And I do think with the Tower, there may be some unexpected shifts in your love life. I don't see them as being entirely drastic. It could be that there are external forces at play with the Five of Wands reversed. But I think that a lot of your love life in the month ahead has to do with you focusing on the right energy and separating yourself from the complicated chaos. Other people's opinions, other people's needs, other people's expectations, the drama of what other people are going to think or say, and just focusing on taking steps towards what you want in love. I do think with the Four of Cups, there is a strong feeling of you needing to claim something or someone, because I feel like this opportunity, or they have been kind of dangling in front of you, and you may need to step up and take initiative here with this Tower. There's a strong sort of masculine push here to kind of have the willpower, the determination, and maybe even courage for some of you to stand up and claim something that is yours. And it feels like it could even be claiming your time and space to do what you want with the person that you love, or claiming someone by making it very clear that you are choosing them. And I do think that this waxing crescent has a lot to do with what the book was saying in terms of setting that, putting that intention into reality through those pivotal first steps. And that is a lot of what this message was about as well. There's a strong feeling of you being very clear, consistent with your energy throughout the month to kind of help shape this successful outcome in love that I feel a lot of you are working towards. It feels like this is leading to something very serious for you, very significant and very long term. What is the closing advice for this waxing crescent theme? We have the bridge, connecting from one space to another. Your advice is to transition through this chaos or through this sudden change and to use your actions as an opportunity to move in the direction that you want. I also see peaceful resolution, so I don't think you need to fight fire with fire. I just think that you may need to kind of assert yourself and really kind of claim your time, your space, your energy, and whatever it is that you want to do with whoever it is that you want to do. So I do think that you may need to stand up for yourself here, because the 5 of Wands reverse can sometimes look like you needing to say your piece in an argument and then removing yourself from the drama of the situation. But I think the goal here isn't to start a screaming war. We just need to be able to do what we want to do in a situation in which somebody else has very strong opinions of us. So the bridge is about finding that peaceful resolution and getting from point A to point B, not focusing on the chaos in the middle, not focusing on the drama or the arguments, especially if you know that you can be a very angry or argumentative person. A lot of Taurus people have that argumentative streak. It's usually what people love about you, because it makes you very fiercely loyal, but at times it can get you in tricky situations. So don't lose sight of that overall goal of getting from point A to point B through those pivotal actions. Your last theme over here is the 8th house. So the 8th house is a strong feeling of transformation, and when it's reversed, it feels like we're either struggling to get through a very sort of heavy patch in which we are slowly kind of going from one space of our life to another, or we could be struggling to kind of embrace some of the passion in our love life, some of the more sort of physical affection, if you know what I mean. Let us see what Tarot has to say about this. What is going on for Taurus with this 8th house energy? What is going on? We have the King of Cups reversed. We also have the 3 of Pentacles. Clarify this 8th house energy for Taurus. And we have Temperance reversed. At the back of the deck is the Ace of Swords. So I do see clarity here. This Ace of Swords is saying, oh my days, look at this, you guys. The swan imagery is very significant for you. The swan is quite a romantic bird. I think it's like associated with lovers or something. Some period of European history, people use swans to like symbolize love. If you know the story, please drop it in the comment section, because I can't think of it. I think it was a French king or queen was gifted like 2 swans to symbolize the love that their partner had for them, something like that. Anyway, I see with the 8th house reversed and all of these messages, to be honest with you, this theme is very much about you getting clarity and perspective in a situation in which your needs have not been met. And this could be talking about sexual frustration, but it is also talking about transitioning from one area to another area and of your love life, and everybody contributing equally. So this is a complicated situation because for some reason there's more than 2 people involved. You could have children or other family members may be involved, but I just think that we're experiencing some imbalance here, to say the least. Like we're not getting enough of something over here with Temperance reversed. And usually Temperance is like balance and moderation. When it's reversed, it's like we're not getting enough of one thing and we're getting too much of the other thing. So I do think for some of you this is like sexual frustration, but with the King of Cups reversed, it's because that's a part of your love language, and it's because that's how you connect with people, with your partner. And I think that the overall energy is that you're not getting your emotional needs met. The King of Cups reversed could be a feeling of you almost being in like a manipulative situation, or feeling like you need to manipulate the situation to get what you want. And I just feel like your needs are being overlooked as well. With the Three of Pentacles, it's highly likely that you're in a situation in which other responsibilities or efforts or projects are needing to be prioritized. And so you're feeling like you're putting so much effort into that material aspect of your world, that physical project or collaborative work, to the point where you're not getting enough of the emotional. I see with the Ace of Swords though, the clarity in this situation is an opportunity for you to say something about it. Like, you know this, so say something, start a conversation about it, or take action in which you can kind of find a solution to this unaddressed need. Because I'm seeing with the 8th house reverse that you feel stuck in this cycle. It's a very awkward feeling of like a transition not being able to take effect, because you're given the opportunity to say or do something, but it's up to you to say or do it. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in this feeling of frustration forever, whether it's physical frustration, emotional frustration, or all of the above. So what is the overall advice here with this 8th house energy for Taurus? It feels like for some of you, you could be in a situation, like a group situation, and you're just trying to get one person alone, and you can't see them as much as you want to, or you're in a situation in which you have a lot of admirers if you're single, but you're struggling to kind of attract that partner that you want. And so you're coming back to this message of needing to show clear displays of affection towards those that you're interested in, so that they are on the same page as you, and so that you're able to transition. But I feel this undercurrent, this subliminal theme throughout the month ahead of you feeling stuck in cycles. Like you're making progress, but then you also feel like you're stuck at the same time, or you're not making enough progress as quickly as you had hoped. So your overall advice for this 8th house theme is the ring. I'm hearing if you liked it, you should have put a ring on it. So I kind of feel like this ring is about having serious intentions. And I also think that as advice for you, it's a weird situation in which you have to figure out what is important to you and how to kind of show that to whoever it is that you're dealing with. And I consider that as like the symbolism of a ring in a partnership. Like technically you could just ask someone to marry you without it, but the ring symbolizes your devotion to that person. It symbolizes the fact that you care about them a lot. And in modern society, even the value of the ring is associated with the care factor. So I almost feel like in this situation, a gesture might be a lot more profound than simply words. And maybe you're aware of that too. But I just think that there's this strong feeling of like making your intentions physically clear, or making your needs physically clear. Whoever you're dealing with in love, I don't know if they're just very obtuse and not really like catching on, or if you're just trying to be very sort of passive and accommodating to the point where you're putting a lot of your needs on the back burner. But in the month ahead, I'm seeing a need for you to be very expressive and clear with whoever you're dealing with in love, so that they're very aware of where they stand with you and of what you want from them. It's very weird. Let's have a look at the person you're dealing with in love. For those who are in a relationship or an established situation, how is that person feeling about Taurus in the month ahead? We have the we have the forest. Everything fell out. Eros wanted to come out, and nectar. So this person is like wanting more kind of, I'm hearing sensual seduction. But I also feel like that forest energy is a reflection of there being a lot of people in this situation. What is the established person feeling towards Taurus in the month ahead. For those who are dealing with someone already, we also have surprise. So the established person is going to be very shocked when you choose to be very clear in your emotions and your feelings, and when your actions start to match with your intentions. The established person is going to really feel like your connection needs work, though, with this surprise card. This card is representative of the song Wait a Minute by Willow, and it's a reflection card, really. It's more about a moment of like shock, to the point where you're kind of forced to stand still for a second and process what is going on in front of you. And that's what that Tower energy is saying as well. I do see sudden change in your love life. And for those who are in established connection, your partner is going to be forced to kind of stop and reevaluate the situation. It's clear with the Forest that this person feels very connected to you, like you come from the same forest, or you're two trees in the same sort of forest. But I also think that that means that you're in a situation in which your environment has become somewhat inhibiting. And I think that there are other people involved in your love life in the month ahead who make it difficult for you and your partner to connect intimately. And they're noticing that too, but it's kind of like they're in a position where they have to honor all of their responsibilities, or all of the things that they have signed up for some reason. I think, Taurus, you're dealing with someone who feels like they have to give their love to other people as well, and it's going to be a different kind of love. Like maybe your partner is a carer, maybe they're a parent, maybe they are feeling responsible of other people in their life in the month ahead. And so it feels like they have to kind of split their affection between multiple people in this established connection. So what is Taurus's advice when dealing with their partner in the month ahead, for those who have an established person? What is Taurus's advice? Okay, we have Saturn reverse. Don't repeat the same cycles. Learn from your mistakes, learn from your challenges, learn from your lessons, and don't repeat the same cycles. Sometimes it doesn't have to be as hard as it has been. We need to reflect, is there an easier way to do it? Saturn can be a very karmic, restrictive, cruel planet. No. And it doesn't always have to be that way. It doesn't always have to, you don't always have to take the hard road. You don't always have to make life more difficult than it needs to be. We only have one life. Why aren't we enjoying it? You know, so that, consider that as advice when dealing with your long-term lover or someone who you have an established connection with. Let's have a look at those who are dealing with a new person or someone who isn't very established in their love life. How is the new person feeling towards Taurus, for those who are dealing with a new person? We have another blue card. This is the Hero card. It's the song Get Free by Major Lazer. I accidentally put the wrong song title on that card, and it haunts me every time I use this deck. Can we get another card, please, Spirit, to represent the new person's energy towards Taurus in the month ahead? How is the newer, less established person feeling towards Taurus, for those who are dealing with a new person? Okay, so for those who are dealing with a new person, we have the Poet. So same energy, just different situation. I feel like the new person is sensing a strong emotional pull to you. The Poet is saying there's a kindred energy. Yoda. No. Good boy. There's a kindred sort of energy here. And I do think that there is a connection with the Poet. I almost feel like a sense of vulnerability, but I also can see how, if you're dealing with a new person, they are a little like timid. They are a little shy, and they are a softer soul. Even if they present as being very masculine and dominant, like this person's heart, I feel, is very tender. And so they're feeling something very profound with you already in the month ahead. But they kind of need a safe space to be able to open up and express how they feel. And that's what I consider the Poet to be. Someone who uses colorful language to intricately paint a picture of their inner world. And this Hero energy could be them feeling like they need to be more assertive, more masculine, more outspoken. But actually resonating more with being a softer, kind of more feminine soul. So I see that this person is feeling like your connection needs a strong push in the month ahead, and their energy towards you is that something that they really want with you seems to be kind of dissolving and materializing in front of them, and they're getting this push to kind of prove themselves to you, which is interesting. That's why I think it's very important for those who are dealing with a new person. It's very important that you make your intentions very clear to that person, so that whatever push they need to make, they can do so confidently. That song is really giving me strong vibes of someone who's really just trying to overcome challenges and obstacles external to this connection in order to kind of make themselves more available to you. What is Taurus's advice when dealing with the new person in love in the month ahead? Okay, we have T-square. Oh my days, I got to read from the book for that one because I always get confused with that aspect. T-square makes me think that it's challenging and helpful at the same time. So I feel like there is this push and pull energy with this new person. And I do see you needing to kind of get out of a comfort zone and be a bit more assertive than you usually are. But I also think that, especially if you're a Taurus moon, Taurus moons aren't the most sort of extroverted energies. Or even if you're a Taurus rising, like I almost feel like you need to be the initiator in many ways. And I don't think that you're entirely comfortable with doing that. But let's have a look, just in case. May we please clarify T-square, Spirit? 291. So it'll be in this guidebook. Oh my God, I just opened it to the right page. Love that. Okay. Yes, that's right. A T-square consists of 3 aspects, an opposition and 2 squares. So pressure, explosion, creativity, bravery, overwhelm, and cyclic struggle. And that is what this world card was representing as well. You needing to kind of push in order to get that outcome that you want. So in light, the T-square gives us the tools to be brave, creative, individualistic, and expansive. Your question is, do you have a T-square in your chart? If so, what planet is at the apex? What house is that planet in, and what sign does the planet reside in? I'm sorry, this wasn't supposed to be that kind of lesson. Let's have a look at your suggestion instead. All right, that's not going to be helpful. That's just detracting from the main message. I blend mindfulness with volcanic power to create a new world. And that's what was happening here with that tower energy. It felt like you had to be first aware of what you really wanted, and then you had to kind of have that explosiveness to go after what you want. Your advice is potentially very uncomfortable because it does feel like it's not something you're used to doing, but it's going to be very rewarding. And I see that whoever you're dealing with is going to be very appreciative of the fact that you were trying your hardest to overcome those challenges and to be courageous and clear. I feel like you're both people who deal with a lot of uncertainty in love and confusion, and you have the opportunity to kind of get all your cards on the table and be very straightforward with this person. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Taurus, when it comes to love in the month ahead. I hope that was helpful and informative for you. If anything didn't resonate 100%, don't force it to fit, but you may have messages in your moon or Venus sign as well, because this is a love reading. That's where I recommend you check. Otherwise, thank you so much for all of your time, your support, your energy. I really appreciate you being here, Taurus. I hope you have a prosperous, abundant month ahead, and I shall connect with you in another video. Bye.